Before we look forward to that, if you can talk a little bit about nationals and starting with the short program and your feelings after that program.
Well, going into nationals, I knew that the door would be a little bit more open than it has been for the past few years, with Evan Lysacek and Johnny Weir being out this year. So I put a lot of pressure on myself at home and in my practices to just skate as well as I could. And when I was first arrived in Greensboro, I felt really stressed out, and it was really all stress that I'd put on myself. And by the day of the short program, I felt good and ready to skate. But when I got there on the ice for my program, I kind of let all that self doubt get to me, and I really wasn't thinking as clearly as I should have been, and just really wasn't in the moment. So the short program was really disappointing, especially for the fact that I missed the Lutz, which is my favorite jump and something that I've, haven't missed since the nationals prior, which kind of was like adding salt to the wound. But I had a day in between the short and the long, and I'm incredibly grateful for it because if not for that, I don't know if I was able to turn the competition around so quickly. During that day, I was able to talk to Evan Lysacek, who was there and accepting an award, and I just talked to him for about 10, 15 minutes, and he really helped me to change my perspective and really focus on the work that I had done, not what I have to do, and it helped me. It helped me a lot. So going into the free skate, I was just focusing on doing as well as I could. Not that I wasn't in my short program, but I had the pressure and expectations of just doing even better than I have ever done. So I kind of lowered that and just went out and focused to do a good, strong free skate. And although it wasn't perfect, I felt very vindicated after it was finished.
And can you share with us anything in particular that Evan said to you that really struck a chord and helped you kind of pull it back together for the free skate?
Um, One thing that Evan did say to me was to focus on a few things that um, I find positive in my skating, and different things that I knew would remind me to skate well, and just some keywords. So I would always think just to bend my knees, hold my landings, something very simple that was not technical, because a lot of my problems that I feel I have is I overanalyze and I make everything too technical. So as soon as I was able to break it down and make it simpler for me, I felt a lot of stress release, that it wasn't so hard or impossible. I felt it was very attainable because I've done it so many times in practice, and I just didn't feel overwhelmed anymore. So that it helped me a lot.
Mm-hmm. And once you were done skating, it was a pretty incredible event, the men's event at Nationals, as it usually is. Were you able to watch it unfold, and what were you thinking when you were watching all that great skating?
Um, well, I finished my free skate. I went into the press zone and spoke to the media pretty quickly, and I saw right away that Ricky Dornbush had skated right after me, and he went ahead of me. So it's like, okay, well, I'm just gonna take my skates off, and I need to get out of the building for a second. I need to get some air. So I went out and I called my coach, who was watching on NBC, Ghislain Brion, who is back in Toronto, and we just talked about it, and he was like, you did a really great job, and you fought through, and that's really great. And he's like, but everybody's skating clean after you, and like my heart sunk because I really wanted to pull up as much as I could, and I was like, well, what's happening? So he's like, no, you're still in second, you're still pulling up. And so I eventually made my way back into the arena, and I saw a few of the skates, but really I don't really remember them. I just kind of I can only come up with just remembering the final result. It was kind of all a blur, but it was a really great event, and I just feel like the audience got such a great leg workout standing up and sitting down. So.
And taking the lessons from nationals, how has that helped you in the couple weeks you have to prepare for four continents?
Well, I really feel like as an American athlete, there's a lot of pressure to do well at the U.S. Championships. You're in front of your fellow American peers, and you're in front of all of the American officials who you really want to have on your side and you want them to believe in you and everything that you're practicing for. And once I get past nationals, even at the four continents last year, I just felt like I wanted to revalidate myself as a top level skater, and I feel the same way going into this year. So nationals is a really big hurdle, and I think it's just more of a mind game than it is anything else.
And you go back as the defending champion. Does that make you excited or nervous or give you something to prove, or is it something you're not thinking too much about?
I'm not really thinking too much about it. The competition is completely different this year. It's not the Olympic year. But of course I want to go in and skate as well as I can, but I'm not thinking about that at all. When I went to defend my junior world title, I wasn't thinking about defending the title because as soon as I start to think about placement and everything, I immediately kind of back up and kind of, I guess, scare myself a little bit. But as soon as I just think about going out and doing what I have to do what I do every day, and make it as simple as possible for me, and not make it too technical, is when I feel like I can shine. So I've been doing that and kind of doing a lot of imagery and working really hard.
And it is a very competitive event this year. Is this kind of like your world championships?
In a sense, yes. I guess it will be. Of the 5 skating continents, 4 of them will be here at the 4 continents. So the level of competition is great, especially from the Japanese and my fellow Americans who are going. So it's, the competitors won't be letting down because for some of us, it'll be our final competition of the season, with maybe the exception of World Team Trophy in April. And for the others, they'll want to make a big statement heading into the World Championships in Tokyo. So for all of us, it'll be really important, and I think it should be a really interesting competition.
And what kind of statement do you want to make to kind of end your season? What are your goals for this event?
I really want to go in and make as big a splash as I did in the beginning of the season at the Japan Open at the end of the season at the 4 continents this year. I'm trained, I'm well prepared, and I was going into nationals, so this week was really about kind of letting go of the stresses from nationals, learning from those experiences, and just looking forward and moving on to the next adventure, which is in Taipei.
And it's a long flight for you. Do you have any movies that you're going to download? How do you kill the time for those long trips to Asia?
Actually, my favorite thing to do on those flights is I'll pick a book that I want to read, and I'll save it and like kind of avoid it for a little while. And then on those flights, I'll just kill the whole flight and just finish the book. I don't know. I just love doing that because I feel like I accomplished something and before I get there, and that's how I usually waste all the time on the flights.
Have you picked out a book yet, or is that on the to-do list still?
That's kind of still on the to-do list. I have a few books, but I want to make sure I find one that I can for sure finish, so that I complete that like little goal I have. So I'm still looking for.
Well, good luck, and hopefully you get a little bit of sleep on that flight too. And thank you so much, and best of luck at 4 continents. Thanks, Adam.
Thanks. I appreciate it. Thank you.